my channel. My name is Samantha and I'm a homeschooling mom of 4 kiddos. In today's video, I wanted to show you what my kids and I are going to be using for our family curriculum. So the things that we're going to use together as a whole family before they go off into independent work. So the first thing that we're going to do, I have heard so many good things about this devotional that I could not help myself but to go ahead and get it so that we can use it this coming school year every morning. And this is the Indescribable 100 Devotions about God and Science. So I'm really excited about this. I have heard nothing but good things about this devotional. So this is something that I can read to my kids, or my older two can take turns reading it out loud. Just something easy and really good that we can use first thing in the morning, probably at breakfast or the couch, wherever. So we ended up starting this next devotional this previous school year when my kids came home from public school. But because of the deschooling process that we were going through and just trying to figure things out within our homeschool and build connections and relationships, it ended up just kind of being put on the back burner, and I really don't want that to be the case. What we did was so good. I plan to actually start it over this next school year, and for me and my kiddos to do it in its entirety and get the most out of it. It's the Our 24 Family Ways, a family devotional guide. I haven't quite decided yet if this will be one that we do in the morning time with just me and my kids, or if it's something that I think that my husband and I should add in to the evenings and actually do it as a whole family. And I think that's kind of why I put it on the back burner a little bit, is because I do want my husband to be involved, and even though he's at work and I'm here at home, I feel like we need to talk about it, and I definitely need to get his perspective on whether this should be, the Indescribable should be something that I do in the morning with time with the kids, and then in the evening after dinner, or even at dinner for conversation, if this is something that we do all together, because I think that would actually work out really nicely for us. So these are the 2 devotionals that we will do together as a family. And I do have the read alouds posted in another video that my kids are going to be reading together, and I can post that down, and I can post the link to that down in the description box. So as far as studies, if you've watched any of the videos of what my kids are doing for curriculum this school year, you haven't seen science, socials, history, any of that stuff in there, because we are actually going to be using Gather Around Homeschool. And I know it seems like a lot. If you've seen those videos, we already have a full curriculum that we're using, and then we're going to be adding in Gather Around. We love everything about Gather Around. We have completed 2 studies, both the Oceans and the Africa unit, and we are actually in the middle of Earth Science right now as what we have decided to stretch out this summer and do as part of our summer school. And I can't sing Gather Around Homeschool's praises enough. It's so good. But it is also, is it enough on its own? Yes, I 100% think that it is enough on its own. But there are parts for me and my kids of things that they were interested in, other curriculums that we wanted to continue with. And so I figure if we do Gather Around in the morning, it's, it has copy work, Bible copy work, there's scripture in there. It's got let me just open it up and show you the scope and sequence. So in the Gather Around Homeschool, you can find geography, social studies, history, science, Bible, art, and language arts. And so I figured that because my kids already have language arts. The language arts that they are using is Master Books Language Arts, and it is a Charlotte Mason inspired, very gentle approach, and my kids really, really enjoyed using it this past school year. So we went ahead and got those books. Now, I also really like all of the things in Gather Round that they have implemented for language arts, but I think that both Gather Round and Master Books are both a more gentle approach to language arts, and I feel like it's perfect for my kids because it's kind of like a well-rounded perspective. I don't know that that's the right word, but it's kind of a well-rounded perspective. Like we will use the Gather Round, and then they can supplement with the Master Books. And so that is how I plan on using it. Gather Round does not include math, so you saw the math that they would be using in the others. And we are also going to pair the Evan Moore geography, just about like 1 page out of that a week, a day. I actually haven't quite figured out the schedule yet. But when I do, I can definitely share that with you guys. So now, back to Gather Round. These are the units that I have for us to use this upcoming school year. So our first, give me a second. So our first continent unit that we are going to use, you saw a little bit of, and that is the North America. And so I'm really excited about all of these units. And then the second continent unit that we will use is South America. And I'll just show you a quick difference in the books that I have. So this North America Teacher's Guide, this is one that I actually purchased the print directly through Gather Round Homeschool. And if you can, I 100% recommend purchasing their print. The quality, the paper quality and the printing quality is unbeatable. It's so good. And so then to save a little on money, I actually had my kids' student books printed with Barnes & Noble. And I actually would not recommend Barnes & Noble. And I know a lot of people have recommended it because it is so inexpensive. But in my experience, and I know this is not everyone's experience, because the reason why I chose it is because people talked about a fast turnaround time. Everything that I've had printed from Barnes & Noble has taken weeks to be approved. So when you upload your files, they go in review before Barnes & Noble approves your book for you to purchase. And so my books stay in review. All of them have stayed in review for weeks. And then they go to printing, and then that's another 1 to 2 weeks. And then you get your book. So luckily for the ones that I got printed at Barnes & Noble, I didn't need to use them soon because it took so long to get them. But at the time, I didn't have a printer that was capable of giving, I mean, it could have been capable, but it would have taken a lot of money in ink for me to have printed these units off, since I need 3 books. And so my oldest son, well, my youngest son isn't in school, so my son uses the Gather Round Upper Elementary, and then my oldest daughter uses the Early Elementary, and then my youngest daughter uses the pre-reader. And so these units are from year 1, and I know that Gather Round is changing their pre-reader. They're kind of splitting it up, I think, in preschool and a kindergarten level in year 2. So I'm not sure what my youngest daughter is going to what level she'll be going into next. I really have to take a look and if she would even be ready for early reader, or if maybe I'll have her do gather around kindergarten. I'm not quite sure yet. So that is North America. Oh, and I'm really excited. I also got the recipe book for North America. So when we completed the Africa unit, it was so fun to pair every week with a recipe, and I look forward to doing that again. And so for South America, again, I have my son's upper elementary, daughter's early elementary, and then my other daughter's pre-reader. And again, the student books I got off of Barnes & Noble. And as far as my teacher's guide and the recipe book, I actually ended up getting an Epsom Eco Tank. My husband bought me one from Costco when it went on sale, so I was so excited about that. And then I got the Swingline Pro Click, I think is what it's called, the Swingline Pro Click, and some of these spines. And so I actually printed and bound my teacher's guide all on my own. All I did was I used 28-pound paper. It's all wrinkled, the first sheet, because my toddler got to it. But I used 28-pound paper for all of them, even the front and back covers. And I just laminated the front and back covers to make it a little bit more sturdy. So that is the teacher's guide for South America. And then I did the same thing for the recipe book. So I also got the South America recipe book. I printed it out, and then I laminated the front and back covers. And so I'm so excited to be able to print and bind these units now. It will make my life so much easier. And so then I only have one science unit planned out so far from Gather Around Homeschool, and that's only because year 2 is not out yet. So I am thinking about ordering space to do, but for now the one that I have is the human body unit. And so just like with North America, I bought these at the same time. So the teacher's guide is printed from Gather Around Homeschool. And then I used Barnes & Noble for the books. And again, if you don't have an Eco Tank, I 100% recommend ordering, if you can, from Gather Around Homeschool. The quality of the books is so much better. And so again, I have my son's upper elementary, my daughter's early elementary, and then my other daughter's pre-reader. And so, like I said, I'm considering ordering space. I'm not quite sure yet because Gather Round is having a sale that actually ends tonight. So I'm so sorry about that, but the sale for Gather Round ends tonight, and she has actually uploaded at a discounted rate all of year 2. So I went ahead and I purchased, I pre-ordered year 2 of all of the units that are coming out. And I know what they are, but I also know that we won't be able to complete them all. So until I and I'll talk to my kids about it, until we figure out what we want to do for another science unit. And then I think that we might be able to do up to 6, maybe. So it's something that I have to figure out with our schedule. We might be able to do up to 6 units. And so we have these 3, and we're finishing out Earth Science now, or we're in the middle of Earth Science now. So we are in the middle of Earth Science now, and then we have these 3 with North America, South America, and Human Body. And I think I will be able to fit in another 3, and I will discuss that with my kids and figure out which ones we are the most excited about, and we will wait on those, or like I said, possibly go ahead and purchase the space unit. And so We are also really, really excited that Gather on Homeschool is doing U.S. History mini units this year. And they released the first one, and I have that. So the first one that we have for socials history is going to be U.S. government. This unit is so beautiful. Like, everything that Gather on Homeschool does is beautiful. Literally, the art is what draws me in. I just love it so much. I love everything about it. And so, again, that was a teacher's guide. And then I have my son's upper elementary, my daughter's early elementary, and then my other daughter's pre-reader. And again, the U.S. government and the other history units that they will come out with are mini units. So while they are all, the regular units are 20 lessons, but also so are the mini units. But the difference is the amount of work. So there are less working pages in a mini unit versus the regular ones, and they are meant to do in conjunction with another unit. So since I already have North America and I have the government and they're both ready to go, I think that we are going to start off for family subjects pairing North America and U.S. government together. I think that would work really nicely, especially with the election going on. I think it'll be really cool for my kids to have an understanding of what's going on with the election and the process and go along with that like all the rest of us in America. So there you have it. This is what we are going to be using as a family. We have our devotionals and our Gather Round Homeschool units. And as soon as we have figured out what other 3 units we are going to add, I will be sure to definitely share that with you. And if you're interested in seeing a in-depth video or flip through of any one of these units, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to film that for you guys and also give you a comparison of what upper elementary and upper elementary look like on the inside, if that's something that you're interested. So just let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.